So I'm sure I got people wondering, oh man, why are you pulling the whole interior out of this car? There's no reason to go that far with it, just to, you don't even know if the engine's running yet or anything. Well, I mean, man, I'll be able to get this thing running no problem, and that's besides the point. But the main reason I do this is because of stuff like this right here. Now that isn't from a mouse. He was chewing away at that to build himself a nest. He'll stuff all that in his little mouse cheeks, and ended up scurrying on back to up underneath here in the underneath the interior panel. So that right there, that was all gross. That was all really gross, and it's still kind of sticking to it. That's all from a mouse. He built himself a nice little home up in there. So I'll have to, I just got to say that it's really important to go through the car, take the interior apart, clean it out. You never know what you'll find. Sometimes you'll find money, sometimes you'll find mice. Sometimes you might find a good luck charm. I've had stuff like that in the past. The S10, I found a couple of dog tags. One was a Scooby-Doo one, and the other one was a Scooby-Doo one. And then the other one was an old, somebody's owned a dog from like the 90s. And it was like the address that I picked up the truck from. That was pretty cool. So like I was calling the truck Scooby-Doo at one point. But nothing like that so far in this vehicle. That's how much more money I found in it. Got some light bulbs and junk. Those are the injectors I pulled out of that one rail. Yeah, nothing special really. So since I'm repairing the AC, I just want to get a little more in depth with this. This whole piece right here for the defrost, and then the side window defrost, defog. This can all come up as one whole piece. Leave that attached right there. And just remember that you had this sub harness, which is the only 3-wire connector over here on this right hand side. You got a 2-wire, which this is your light for your courtesy light, and then this 3-wire right here, that's for your I don't forget if it's a photo sensor for daylight or if it's a temperature sensor, but either way, I think there's a temperature sensor right there anyways. But yeah, your little sub harness will plug in right there. You got screws that bolt down right there, right? Screws that screw down behind the duct, so look for those. Another one right there. Over on that side, you got to get the one that connects that duct to your main defog ducts, and then another one behind, way up high. Once you have that, the one in the center as well, and it should all be these guys holding it in. All right, remember that going back together. And then just lift the whole thing off from right there. Take the whole unit out as one assembly. Now with the defog ductwork removed, it was easier to gain access to this Resurrect door actuator. And the connector plugs in up top here towards the rear. It is this guy right here, and in order to depress its release tab right there, I was able to use a right hand pick, depress it and pull it out. Over here on the driver's side, I went ahead and disconnected all of the auto HVAC brain connectors. If you have one of the rare manual climate control vehicles, you will not have this. You'll have something different. I'm not entirely sure. I've never messed with one of those cars. They're very rare. But most of the cars will have automatic climate controls, and you'll have the brain box over here, this little controller for it. And those 4 connectors right there, don't worry about labeling them, which one goes where. They only go in one way. You can see they're different sizes, but they're all different sizes. You won't be able to mix them up. And then you have this this main connector right here, which there's a temperature sensor and yeah, I believe a couple temperature sensors for the ductwork that goes here underneath the driver's side. Now the brain box will stay with the whole HVAC control, the whole HVAC box. This is all going to come out as one assembly. You've got a bunch of 10 millimeters down here, these nuts right here, and you got some 10 millimeters, one right there, one up here. Don't forget that one. Don't let it break. And then, you know, I forget if there's one over here on this side. I don't think so. I think it's really just kind of resting up there. But you gotta disconnect your HVAC lines and your heater hoses from the other side. And now, I don't remember if I had disconnected those, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop the hood while I got a little bit of daylight left and see what's going on there. Oh, look at that. Apparently I thought it'd be fun to leave that job for later. So I'm gonna have to dig in and somehow get to that one and the other one. Yeah, so it's no problem. Piece of cake, piece of crumb cake. They came right off. Not bad. Well, next up is to finish yanking it on out of there. Get those last remaining bolts and simply remove. Okay, started unbolting it and then I remembered that I lied. The HVAC boxes do not come out as one. You have to take out the center piece here, the AC condenser piece first, or the AC condenser piece, and then you take out the blower motor piece, and then you can take out the heater core piece, which is the central unit where most of the blend doors are located. So yeah, that was my bad. Well, I just wanted to go ahead and address that. So remember, center, right, left. So when the AC box comes out, you'll notice it's still kind of stuck on something. That's your drain. Go ahead and just undo her there. Carefully pull it out. You may have to use a pick tool to free it up. And here we have yet another reason why Mark's taking the whole interior part on this Z, because I want to clean all that out. That won't blow through and blow up in your face, even though a bunch of stuff had cleared out of the defog ducts. That stuff would have definitely blown out in my face, and I don't want that. Nobody likes getting stuff blown out in their face. Exhibit number B right there, down in the blower motor cage. That's not good. That would not have liked that if I tried to fire it up. So yeah, take them apart. Take them all the way apart, clean them out, make sure they're good to go. That one I'm gonna have to actually like clean out into a garbage can. So crap. Daylight's a wasting. Got the top nut right there, that nut on the bottom right, and there should be, yep, one right there behind the gas pedal on the bottom left. So that'll be those three for the heater box, and that one, man, I might try and grab some paper towels and just lay them down and see what see if I can mitigate some spillage over here, because that kind of sucks. Just like that, 3 nuts, and it comes out. Now all these, just pull them directly to the rear of the vehicle, and they should pull out no problem, as long as you got your connections disconnected. Now we can get a little bit closer look and what's going on here. Already don't like it. These wires exposed to, yeah, see, I mean, eventually you'll end up with chafing, and that's not good. So yeah, the engine harness is still in there. We're gonna go ahead and pull it out that a ways, but we're gonna have to remove that plenum to make things easier, just to, you know, get everything removed. That's it. Sun's going down, and I've had a long day. Pulled Mustang, a 4.6 liter out of a Mustang today, and that engine needs to go to the machine shop. So I'm barely in the mood. Barely in the mood for stuff like this. Alright, time to get cleaned up. One last thing before signing off, just a real quick breakdown of the tools that I use so far when working on the engine, getting the harness off of it, taking the interior apart. This is pretty much it, what you're looking at right here. I just, you know, I was using my tool cart the entire time, and as I was taking tools out, I never put them away. That was just using the tool cart. So I figure it's a real good idea to show what's going on here. That was from something else, don't worry about that. I can go over in there. Don't worry about the drill bit. That doesn't make sense. It's not supposed to be there. I haven't drilled anything yet. Well, so pliers, I barely have to use the needle nose, but it's good to have them there. Have a good set of slip joint pliers that you can use to grab stuff and take the spring clamps off with. Good set of wire cutters. You can cut zip ties. You can cut, you know, weird aftermarket stuff that other people have installed. You cut those wires out. You need a good set of screwdrivers, a number 2 and a number 3. And the number 3 is really important. Make sure you're using a number 3 on the larger ones and you don't strip them out by trying to use a number 2. Razor blade, never know. Some stuff you just gotta kind of cut away. It's, you know, where the wire cutters aren't gonna help. We'll get to that. Flat blade screwdriver. This is mostly for like prying stuff, you know, that you might have to come across. Set of wrenches, you should really only need 10, 12, and 14, but you'll want a whole set of wrenches because, you know, over the years you might come across 15 or 13 that's been put on the vehicle. A little pry tool, right, for prying up little tabs and some of the wire retainers. That's pretty important. I can use a right angle pick for just about anything that a pick is needed for. Sometimes I'll use a straight one, but for the most part, I go right for the right angle pick. But you can get them real cheap in packs of 4s where they come with all different ends on them. You know, I mean, most of the stuff can be found at you know, the Horrible Fright store. You know, for pretty cheap. I know you see some expensive stuff here, but this is my home set of hodgepodge tools that kind of I've collected. But as far as ratchets are concerned, I got the 1/2-inch drive with a 14mm on it. Now that one right there was used to remove the seat belts. Your seat bolts might be so tight that you need a 1/2-inch drive, so it's good to have a 1/2-inch drive on hand for some of the harder to hit bolts. 3/8 drive, for the most part, using 12 and 14 on that. A deep well for just about anything that was needed there, with a short stubby extension. I didn't need anything more than that for the taking the interior apart. Of course, it's good to have a full set on hand. The rest of my chromies are in the toolbox. And then the 1/4-inch ratchet set, mostly you're going to be using 8mm, 10mm. It's good to have the nut driver as well, you know, with a set of screw drive adapters. Again, more adapters up that a ways. But then you got, you know, also pretty much like slapping that 8mm on the nut drive for taking off all the hose clamps, you know, that and the 1/4-inch. Sometimes it's a 7mm, who cares, you know. That pretty much sums it up. What you'll see is, I mean, these are all hand tools, you know. I didn't use any power tools. I just wanted to show you guys that, like, you know, thus far, you can accomplish this in your driveway with some very, very basic stuff. What else? No, I think that just about covers it, man. Yeah. Okay, right, one other thing. I did not have to deal with it on this car because it's a non-airbag car. So those of you with airbags, if you want to remove all that and you see those crash impact sensors or anything related to the airbags up in your car, you're actually going to need what's called a tamper-proof Torx bit. And you can find those in sets, again, at the Hobo Fright store. So that's the only thing that I didn't use, that I don't have with me here. That's a special tool I keep at the shop. So remember, that's a tamper-proof Torx. It's got a little hole in the middle. You'll see what I'm talking about when you go to take it out. You're gonna be like, well, this is weird. It's got a peg in the middle and stuff. Like, that's it. That's the one you're looking for when you go get that tool. That's it, man. We're out.